Swoldier Nation, welcome to my house, to my kitchen. It's time. We had another little nutrition heart-to-heart, if you will. So this is me doing my Martha Stewart, but before I do, I just want to set the mood. We're in Idaho. I got my shotgun here, but we're gonna set the mood here. So we're gonna just light a candle. We're gonna get personal tonight. I want to learn about you. I want you to learn about me, and I want us to talk about nutrition tonight. So I'm about 17 weeks out from my show. 214, 215 pounds right there. Kind of right where I want to be as of right now. I've enjoyed myself. Been eating 75% clean. Enjoying myself the other 25% of the time being on the road. It's nice to have those times that you can relax a little bit. It's been good on the mind, been good for the body. But now, 17 weeks out for the biggest comp of my life. So we're getting serious here. So just today, I started planning out meals. I started looking at my base metabolic rate, my base nutrition. So I'm gonna eat. I want to hang around about 212 here. So I'm gonna drop my calories a little bit. Doing the math, I decided that about 3,000 calories will get me to 212 fairly quickly. So I'm gonna drop that. I'm taking 250 grams of protein, 325 grams carbs, and 70 grams fat. You know, with protein, you can only get so high before it really is just adding calories for no reason. So 250 grams of protein is plenty when I'm getting that much carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are protein sparing. But anyhow, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys, delve into a little bit more nutrition. I know it's been a while since we've done that, and seeing that I'm starting to count calories, putting them in my tap and track on my phone. I'm starting to take more supplements. I'm really starting to tighten things up. 17 weeks out, 12 weeks out, we'll tighten up things a little bit more, and then 6 weeks out, things will be super strict. You might even think they're strict right now. For me, it's not quite crazy yet. And without proper nutrition, you're training, you're just spinning your wheels. So you have to set a goal. You know, are you looking to gain muscle? Are you looking to shred up? Those two things the body really doesn't like to do. Now you can do them, it just takes a lot of time. As bodybuilders, as people that are looking to improve your physique, nutrition is gonna be where you're gonna see the most impact on those types of things. For bodybuilding, it's always been a little bit higher, up to, you know, over a gram per pound of protein. Now that might sound a lot. If your goal is to gain muscle, and especially to hold on to that muscle while you're dieting, it's very important that you're getting enough protein. So you have these different types of amino acids, 22 of them actually, that create pretty much everything in the body. Fingernails, different hormone production, skin, everything, building blocks of protein, amino acids, that's what they are. So we have foods that give us the complete amino acids, and then foods that we need to combine in order to get these things. Complete proteins, things like eggs, animal protein, these are gonna be complete. They contain all of the amino acids. Something like an egg is kind of where we set the standard. These are the most bioavailable protein found in eggs for us. You know, something like milk protein's high up there too, as well as animal protein. I do 2 whole eggs to 6 egg whites. The yolk is where all the cholesterol's at, it's where the fat's at, but it's good. There's a lot of minerals, there's a lot of important things in those yolks too, so I always try to include a little bit of it. And then I use organic ground beef, chicken, of course. I have chicken, and I also have fish in my refrigerator there. These are all things just to keep things interesting, to keep things fun. Also turkey. Jamie Eason's turkey meatloaf muffins are some of my favorites. For so long, I just ate the same things over and over again, and there's really nothing wrong with that. But it gets old, and it can lead to some disorders if you let it to. There's a big push right now called If It Fits Your Macros. I know you guys have all heard about If It Fits Your Macros, and I actually think it's a really good thing, except for when people get too liberal with it and start eating junk food. Now, when you're talking about whole foods, it's more than just protein, carbs, and fats. It's containing those phytonutrients, those minerals, those vitamins, all these things in whole foods that you don't get from junk processed food. You know, for me, it's very important to make it clear to you guys that when I eat, it's not for looks, it's for health. Now, of course, getting ready for a bodybuilding show is about looks, but if you're gonna do it healthy, if you're gonna succeed in being healthier, which is really what we're doing in bodybuilding, you have to look at the foods you're eating not as just getting you more ripped, but as in what are they doing for my body. So tons of vegetables. We're gonna talk about more of those as we get into carbohydrates. But for protein, you know, it's hard to get 250 grams, 275 grams of protein. Some people even get more than that. You know, after that, I feel like it is just added calories. Protein is 4 calories per gram. So they're not just free calories. You can eat protein at all times you want. You know, to lose weight, you have to take in less calories. But in order to maintain a proper body composition is what we care about bodybuilders. Most people, when they go on a diet, they don't care how they lose the weight. They just want to lose the weight. When you're getting ready for a show, it's about body composition. That's what counts. You have to get rid of body fat while holding on to that muscle and staying at a positive nitrogen balance. Getting enough protein, amino acids, going to do that. Some other ways to supplement getting enough protein are protein shakes. Now, Optimum, they have so many different protein powders out there. I know a lot of you guys get questions or give me questions on, you know, what protein should I use for this? When do you use this protein? I'm lactose intolerant. You know, there's basically a protein out there for everyone. Later on, I'm going to be doing strictly a protein supplement review of all of our products, what they do, how you know, you could use them, which one might work best for you. But I take usually two shakes in. If I'm on the road, maybe a little bit more, but 1 to 2 shakes in. At night, it's usually a casein or a casein shake. That's pretty much the same here as cottage cheese. It's a slower digesting protein, kind of clumps up in globs. Obviously, cottage cheese is like that. A little bit thicker protein that kind of sits in your stomach for longer. So if you're going a long time without getting a meal and you need a steady stream of amino acids, something like, you know, casein or cottage cheese is perfect for that. Now, carbohydrates, they kind of get a bad rap, I feel like. You know, our bodies need carbohydrates. I hear, when I was in England, a lot of people were talking about going on a keto diet, and that's where you take out all carbs pretty much. Your brain uses carbohydrates as fuel, so it's important to get carbohydrates. Now, carbohydrates simply are sugars. Now, not necessarily table sugars, while that is a carbohydrate. There's so many different kinds of carbohydrates. You have oligosaccharides, you have polysaccharides, and monosaccharides. But some are more complex and some are more simple carbohydrates. What I mean by that is some are broken down more easily, some take longer. Depending on what time of the day it is, we use both complex and simple. You know, simple right after a workout when you use your glycogen storage. Something like a simple carbohydrate is just fine to get. Also, I never cut out, you know, something like apples. Fruit from my diet, very important. Things like vegetables, these are all carbohydrates. Ezekiel bread, sprouted bread. Veggies are a dieter's best friend. You know, I eat so many veggies when I'm dieting because they contain that fiber. They keep you full for longer. Not to mention the phytonutrients in there, the minerals, the vitamins. Anything that's green or yellow seems like it's good for you. You know, carrots obviously are good for you. Fruits even, you know, I have 1 to 2 servings of fruit. I like berries in the morning. Sometimes at night I'll make my my protein, what's it called? I just made it the other day with the Protein Chef. Anyhow, it's berries, it's a little bit of almond milk, and it's a scoop of whey protein, and you just emulsify it. It fluffs up, protein fluff. You know, carbohydrates are what gives us those big round muscle bellies. A muscle that's trained can store more glycogen, and glycogen is what a carbohydrate, how the body stores it in the muscle, uses it as fuel. Fats are going to be so much more calorically dense. And it doesn't matter if it's almonds, it doesn't matter if it's good fats, the olive oils, or if it doesn't matter if it's lard. You know, fat is fat when it comes to calories. But there's good fats and there's bad fats. You know, we start talking about cholesterol, we start talking about the different kinds of essential fats. There's fats out there. Fish oil, for example, is proven. If you want to lose weight, you need that good fat to help you. You know, fats that it's a furnace. If you're eating good fats, it's a furnace for the bad fat. So things like almonds, walnuts, flaxseed oil, avocado. I eat egg yolks. I eat. You have saturated fats, trans fats, which should be avoided at all costs. Partially hydrogenated oils, avoid at all costs. But your trans fats, you have saturated fats, you have monounsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. Those polyunsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats are the ones we like, even though you do need some saturated fat in your diet. I supplement with CLA and with fish oil, good fats to help burn those bad fats. So starting out, try to, whatever your baseline is, try to get 20% of that to be to be fats. Lastly, the last macronutrient I like to throw in there is water. Water is essential. 72% of your muscle is water. So if you're not getting enough water in your day, you're just spinning your wheels. You know, if you are thirsty, which I am right now, you are already starting the dehydration process, and being dehydrated will just ruin performance. But, so anyhow, water. Make sure you're getting enough. I drink 1 to 2 gallons. Usually it's about 1.5 gallons a day when I'm contest prepping, and it just flushes out my system. You know, I'm not worried about sodium. Sodium's crucial for getting good muscle pumps. You know, I'm not dumping salt on everything, but I'm not worried about the sodium in cottage cheese. I'm not worried about the sodium, about putting a little salt on my eggs. I'm not, you know, eating, you know, chips that are super stupid high in sodium, but I don't worry about that because I'm getting enough water. It's crucial for my muscle pumps. Muscle pumps, such a funny way to describe it. But these are all things that are very important. If you're eating for health, you're gonna be concerned with getting those vitamins, getting those minerals. It's just the insurance to make sure everything's functioning properly in your body. So I do take a multivitamin. Give yourself enough time. If your goal is to gain muscle, you need to start looking at getting enough protein and then getting a surplus of calories. Now we start talking about cardio in there. We've talked about cardio before and how LISS versus HIIT, the different aspects of that. Doing low intensity steady state cardio is just like cutting back calories. It's just calories in versus calories out. HIIT is beneficial, you know, on your days off. It's taxing on the central nervous system, so I do it on my off days from weights. But it's about post-oxidative consumption, increasing that mitochondria's capacity to do work, and that's in the cell, shuttling fat, using it as fuel. You know, that's why I get so, I just cringe when I see girls out there so afraid to put muscle. No, I just want to be skinny. Well, put a little bit of muscle on, and your body's going to burn more calories. So many people are afraid to lift heavy weights. You're not going to go into the gym. And I love when people look at me like I'm crazy when I suggest a protein supplement to a woman. You know, it's about changing your body composition. It's not about getting big and bulky. If it was that easy, everyone would be big. But there's thousands, millions of guys in the gym trying to work out to try to put on muscle, and they're having a hard enough time. If you're a girl out there, don't think you're just going to go into the gym, take protein, and all of a sudden be this big bulky bodybuilder. No, it's just not. It's not the case. The bulk of my nutrition, I love this about Optimum, the bulk of my nutrition comes from whole foods. Supplements are there to really help you out, you know, when you're dragging, or, you know, I don't really consider protein and supplements, just an added bonus of my nutrition. But the other things, you know, it's just there to supplement proper nutrition. You can't out-train a poor diet. You can't out-supplement a poor diet. So make sure this right here, if you're getting ready for a show, if you're wanting to cut up, if you're wanting to add weight, it all starts in the kitchen. Because if you're serious about it, you want to get shredded for the summer, a food scale. You're going to have to start reading labels on food, guys. If you want the results, you're going to have to put in the time. You're going to have to do your homework, reading labels, putting together meal plans. You know, I don't like to eat the same thing every day, but I know that it's a lot harder to make a meal plan that's different every day. So, you know, weekly meal plans are what I like. So when I want to see those abs, this is the first place I turn to. I don't go into the gym and do more crunches. The first place you have to look at is your nutrition. So just do aerobics three days a week, 30 minutes walking, playing a sport. Do something for your heart. If your goal isn't necessarily to compete, you don't have to count calories. I don't want to sit here and tell you you have to count calories. If your goal isn't to compete, maybe don't worry about counting calories. Or count calories for just 2 weeks to kind of get a feel of, you know, oh, I didn't really know that had so many calories, or I guess I'm not getting enough protein. Just do it for a couple weeks to make sure that you know, I guess, kind of have the correct mindset. You kind of have you're able to eyeball things after that. As I get into it more, I'll start introducing things like L-carnitine, maybe a fat burner 6 weeks out, but I'll talk to you guys a little bit about fat burners. We got linolenic acid, digestive enzymes. Enzymes are a great way. You're getting a lot of protein, so enzymes are a good way to help with that your ability to digest the food, the protein. Because it's not about how much food you take in, it's about how much food you're able to absorb. I learned so much this past week cooking with the protein chef. You know, if you go out there and get her book, Anna Swartz is her name. Hopefully we can get her on the show and cook up some things. You don't have to make things boring, you don't have to make things bland, but at the end of the day, this is fuel for our workout. This is fuel. We don't live to eat, we eat to live. But I just basically wanted to give you guys the information, give you the tools to go out there and be able to change your lives, change your body composition, change things the way you want. You're in control. There is the information out there. It's everywhere. Bodybuilding.com, Arnold's Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding, my videos, you know, subscribe to the premium stuff. We're gonna be doing more stuff on there. You're gonna have full episodes of cooking, the recipes, in-depth stuff about the nutrition, about supplements. We're gonna break down all the different kinds of proteins. It's your job, no one else's, to find out what works for you. But anyhow, Steve Cook in the kitchen, come get some.